And you know that when it's 8 o'clock, we attach all seriousness to whatever it is we are talking about, because this is something that affects all of us, whether directly or indirectly. As long as you're a Ghanaian, these conversations you must pay attention to. Today, in our community development segment, we are moving to Odorgonno Senior High School. Today we are celebrating teachers, but when we come home here in Ghana, how do teachers, go about their profession peacefully and efficiently? I mean, when you don't have what it takes to teach, I can imagine the frustration. Oftentimes we see doctors, nurses, people like that, protest. And maybe because our lives literally are in their hands, we panic and attend to them. But when it comes to teachers, how swift are we in attending to their needs? When we visit our campuses, what is the state of infrastructure? How easy and efficient is teaching and learning? This is the conversation we are having. Now, when you visit Odorgonno Senior High School, the school is begging for a science lab due to they not having one. They have to use other facilities, converted. And you know what it means to have a science lab, and for instance, to use your dining hall as a science lab. You know what that means. Let's take a look at this report. When we come back, we'll have a conversation.
Odorgonno Senior High School, established in 1940 by Joseph Thomas Lane, initially operated as an all-boys school. However, in 1993, it transitioned into a co-educational facility. Over the years, the school has witnessed substantial growth in students' population, currently exceeding 3,000 students. Regrettably, this significant increase in student numbers has not been matched by a corresponding expansion in infrastructure, resulting in ongoing challenges. One of the most pressing concerns of the students is a dedicated science lab, forcing students to utilize the school's dining hall as a makeshift lab. The predicament arose due to structural issues with the school's original science lab, leading to its abandonment. Currently, there have been instances where the science students have had to travel to sister schools for their practical lessons. The use of dining hall as a science lab disrupts the school's teaching schedule, with students sometimes having to wait for meals. In addition to these challenges, the issue of abandoned government projects poses a significant hindrance to the teaching and learning process. Some of these projects have been left uncompleted over a decade, as reported by the school's authorities. The situation has sometimes forced students to resort to studying under trees, as the existing classrooms are insufficient and there is a shortage of desks for students. Moreover, the absence of staff common room for teachers means they must find their own place to rest between sessions. Headmaster Patrick Mensah shares his concern with Citi News, shedding light on the daily struggles faced by students.
Currently, we have student population of 3,424, and the classrooms we have are not enough. Dormitories inadequate. Out of that number I mentioned, we have less than 50% in the boarding house. And looking at the catchment area of this place and where the students are coming from, some are coming as far as Bojuasi to this place. So there is the need to get extra facility for boarding to enable us bring a lot of students. Odorgonno is now doing very well, so most parents want their was to be in Odorgonno. But when they look at the distance, it's a problem. They will do science practicals at the dining hall. It's an improvised thing that we do, and it is affecting the schedule of the school, the flow of the school. We don't have enough furniture due to the numbers we have and the rate of deterioration of the facilities here. Our furniture is inadequate. We run single track at the moment, and when it happens that way, we have to adjust and use certain modalities to be able to flow, to have effective classes. Another thing that we'll mention is security. Our catchment area is good, but the vegetation that we've cultivated on the compound, it is becoming a haven for drug addicts and other unscrupulous citizens. So we'll be glad if we can improve upon the fencing of the school to improve upon the general security. The teachers on the compound are less than 20, with a student population of about 1,500 in the boarding house. It's inadequate. And also, we don't have a staff common room.
The alumni of Odorgonno Senior High School acknowledge that they alone cannot resolve these issues and appeal to government and fellow alumni for support.
Since we came on the board, we've seen and heard some of the challenge that is facing our dear school. That's why we joined hands with the headmaster, the staff, and other stakeholders to ensure that we launch this anniversary, get some souvenirs, and also approach well-meaning Ghanaians to help us address some of this challenge that he enumerated earlier. Now that we've seen ourselves, we are coming together to see how best we can partner and also address some of these challenges.
We are appealing to the authorities, to government, to stakeholders, to all students of Odorgonno Senior High School to collaborate so that together we'll be able to get a well-furnished science lab for the students. That is our major concern.
The school building itself is crying, asking us to help the school itself. So we are working on it. Myself, the school is under my jurisdiction as a chief. We are going to talk to the old students, form a committee and see what best we can do.
On a positive note, the Member of Parliament and the District Chief Executives for the area have shared with Citi Youth the efforts they have made to alleviate the situation.
I'm developing a very strong relationship with the school, and through that, Education Minister has been here a couple of times. I know that Minister of Health is also looking to support us with a sick bay. So though there are infrastructural needs, with the blessing of some of these ministers, I know that we'll up our game. And we're also hoping that, the likes of Ghana Gas would also help us maybe with a dormitory, where with the blessing of some of these ministers, I know that we'll up our game. And we're also hoping that, the likes of Ghana Gas would also help us maybe with a dormitory. Wherever we can, we'll push the Odorgonno message so that people can help support us improve on the facility we have. Many students are doing well here. Our last performance was very good. And I believe that because it's now very attractive, it's important that we improve on our facility, especially the restroom, especially the classroom, and so that we're not overpopulated. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is going to start a 6-unit classroom block. And the same ways we'll also approach other institutions that can help us. And I'm very hopeful. I mean, it took some finesse to get this to happen. And the same ways and means, we'll use it to get others on board.
The major problem they were facing had to do with students scaling the wall and going out, and people not within the school community also scaling the wall and coming in. However, over the period, we have gotten ourselves involved, and as we are talking now, there are plans by the Assembly to put up a police station, not police post, police station on campus here. We are waiting to finalize the documentation, then we can start. Education is very dear to the heart of the president and his vice president. So we have no option but to put in our maximum best to ensure that education is improved in the municipality.
Students of Odorgonno Senior High School are forced to use the dining hall as a makeshift science lab. This is because the building just beside me has cracks in them. However, they still need more infrastructure to help teaching and learning.
Right, so that is the story of Odorgonno Senior High School, and this is the condition of many other senior high schools in the country, David. So, when I watch stories like these and I see authorities come in that we are making plans to do this, we are making plans, I've always had a problem with just talking. Yeah. Do them. Yeah. Okay. And I think that, so there are plans to put up not a police post, but a police station. But in the meantime, can we focus on the deteriorating ones there? Okay,
Absolutely.
so whilst we are thinking of coming to build a police station for them, can we look at fixing the science lab? Can we look at fixing the already infrastructure on the campus that is getting rotten, that is wasting away? Can we do that? Because we are always quick to construct, we are always quick to build, but very slow in maintaining. And so we just keep running around in circles. Look at the state of the school.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that leaders, traditional, political, technical leaders have been in place all these years, and then we're looking at these buildings, and you see when the building started to crack, it doesn't take much to repair it, right? But we've left it. Then the crack has spread through, so it's one end to the other. So now, literally, the building is just sort of like the two parts of the walls are literally just sort of hanging,
exactly.
barely by,
each other.
So anything can happen. Meanwhile, that could have been stopped when it started.
Long ago. What does it take?
And it takes a little cement.
Exactly.
And it will fix
to
it.
patch things up.
To
What
patch
does
things
it?
up.
What does it
You see,
take
so-
to change mosquito nets?
Yeah.
But we wait for the
and
whole
then the
net
whole
to
thing
go,
becomes,
and then the shutters are off, and then this is
Yeah.
gone, and then we come back to look at some of these things.
Yeah.
Why can't we maintain?
Anyway, we have the headmaster on the line with us. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Breakfast Daily. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily. Mr. Mensah? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, can you speak up a little bit so we can hear you?
Yeah, in fact, I have a little bit health challenge. I'm on
Okay.
the way to hospital, so I can't.
All right, okay, all right. So thank you very much for joining us anyway. So we were discussing the issue of the various challenges that you're facing as a school at Odorgonno. Give us a sense of when you took over the school as headmaster, how things have been, and what's the situation now?
Thank you very much. Yeah. When we took over, we did a scan of our challenges and strengths, and we quickly communicated to our various stakeholders for attention. So, as you can see when you visit the school, you can see that those issues we raised are receiving attention, with the exception of a few that are yet to also receive attention.
Okay, so give us some context for this. So, how long ago were you put in charge of the school, and then what were some of the issues that you brought up with the stakeholders, and what have been done so far about those ones?
Thank you very much. I took over fully in November 2019.
Okay.
And as you can see, when we get to the school, our library now, which is a project of the PTA, and they were supported by Cummins, Ghana, and then United Way Africa to furnish the place. The structure was put up by the PTA.
Okay.
And after the PTA has done the ground floor and then the first floor, Cummins and the United Way Africa helped them to furnish the facility. It's one of the best libraries in the region. I'm yet to see a school that has a library with that capacity.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Secondly, we raised the issue of staff room accommodation, lack of staff room, and also the PTA decided to continue the top floor of the library as a staff room. It is also, I would say, about 90% complete, and we wait for furniture to furnish that one. It is receiving attention. We also spoke about classroom infrastructure, and we had, with the help of the MP, Honorable Ademaku Kisi, we've gotten latter-day things. They came to do a scan of the facility. We needed a dormitory and a classroom.
Yeah.
And they saw that the classroom was an immediate need. So after a long procedure, they've agreed to give us a 6-unit classroom block with a flap so that it can be continued later by the payers. for PTA. So that one too is started. Then there came the issue of the laboratory. With the laboratory to the PTA, with the support of some parents, took it as a project and we wrote to some organizations. We are yet to receive full attention on that. But luckily for me, the Minister of Education personally visited, looked at the laboratory and gave us some assurance. And beyond that, even this week, we had an online meeting with about 100 heads. I raised the issue again, and the minister gave me a full assurance that we are going to get a facility. So, in fact, he gave me the fullest assurance with in the presence of all my colleagues. So I'm sure and I believe very soon that one too will be coming. So far, and when it comes to the rules, there was the issue of walkway issue because I was told when I saw a document, when a teacher was going to teach and the teacher slipped and fell. So anytime it rains, teachers just go into the classroom. So we started a walkway project. We completed one, and we informed the assembly about it. But they promised coming to help us with walkway or resurfacing the roads in the school. That one is yet to receive attention. So if you ask in a brief, that is what I have on my desk.
Okay. So how soon do you think that we will get some resolution to the science lab issue?
Come again, please.
How soon do you expect to get some resolution to the science lab issue?
Yeah. If you ask how soon, I cannot determine. Once my boss has assured me, my director general is aware, my minister has assured me, and all the stakeholders are aware. So once the assurance comes from the minister, I think that is something that we can rely upon. So as ahead, I can't say tomorrow, but I believe the way he gave the assurance within the shortest possible time.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We appreciate the updates and we appreciate your time. Thank you. So that was the headmaster of Odorgonno Secondary School, Mr. Patrick Mensah, giving us an up-to-date perspective on what's happening at the school, the challenges that he came to meet, some of the things that they've been able to do so far, and looking into the future, some of the things that still need to be done. Now, the science lab, for me, is critical for two reasons. One, because you can't properly do science in a place that is not catered for science experiments. You can't. Okay, so a proper science lab, you have gas pipes running through the lab that are supplying Bunsen burners and so on. And there's all kinds of chemicals that are there. And speaking of chemicals, you use chemicals in your science experiments, and then you're going to finish the science experiments, and then food is going to be brought into the same space. Can you see the problem? This is the issue. It's very challenging.
You know, David, so you asked how soon he hopes to get some kind of
resolution to it.
Resolution. I'm also very much interested in that because this kind of, in certain areas we have certain schools, that would have the science lab that will cater for a number of schools in a particular community. Now, I'm asking myself, do we have schools around? You remember I said sometimes they have to go somewhere else, If that is how it's supposed to be, can we structure that properly? So we know that, okay, this science lab in this particular school is supposed to cater for Odorgonno, Citi Senior High School, this senior high school, so that it is well equipped. And then they can take their time if they have to have one on their campus. Because you rightly said, we cannot have, you're not even supposed to bring food to the science lab. But we are going to now taking the whole science lab to their kitchen and to where food is served. It's a no-no. Okay, it's not good for the food. I mean, vice versa. You can't have food at the lab. You can't have chemicals at the eating area. So what exactly are we doing? Okay, you're coming to have your practicals where we have food particles, where we have tables that may not be well cleaned for a science experiment. Okay, now if you're also going to be using the chemicals to clean, because you know when you're going to have experiments, there are chemicals to even wipe the tables and all these, and I mean this is not safe for human consumption. So this is where we're going to have the science practicals. We clean the table with some chemicals. We are coming back, and you know, I mean in school, if your kenke falls on the table, you pick it back. Okay, your bread falls on, you pick it back, it goes straight into your mouth. And so we are also opening ourselves for other dangers that we are not even thinking of now. So sometimes you hear of some kind of epidemic in schools, and we have this, we have all that. We don't pay attention. Our minds do not go to some of these areas. And I think this is very, very dangerous to have the science practicals, you know, right at the dining area. It really can't be like that, you know. So where did we come from and where are we today?
Yeah, I just think that, like what you said earlier, right? Maybe what we should be looking at to as an intervention of sorts is if we truly can't kit every secondary school, right? As was done back in the 90s. Like you mentioned, let's have centralized science labs. And then a roster.
And equip
for all
it properly.
and then it's properly equipped.
Because I remember when I was in St. Monica's, we had other students from other schools like Amaniampo and other people come to St. Monica's to use our science lab. I remember that was when they also gave the buses, so these yellow buses and all that and that. So we will go convey the students, bring them to St. Monica's, you know, they use the lab. When we are done, it takes them back. We can structure this properly. If we say we're going to build science lab for every school,
it will end up being a lot more expensive than
it will not happen, David. I mean, it's not, it will end up being expensive. We and I know that it won't happen. Do you understand? It will not happen. So can we not go back? And it comes back to our culture of maintenance. What happened to those science labs in these schools? You know, do we have them still intact? Do we still have them very well resourced that other people can come in to use them? So that, I mean, because you don't go to the science lab every day.
No.
So if it means that once a week, students can have access to a proper lab for their practicals and all that, I think we can start from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've been joined by an old student from, well, he was with Odorgonno Secondary School. Elvis Joannan has joined us on the line this morning. Elvis, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
All right, so when did you pass through Odorgonno Secondary School?
I was in Odorgonno from 1988 September to May, June 1993.
1988 to 1993?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We started from Adabraka and ended at Awusi now.
Oh, so you were there when it was at Adabraka?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, we went to Anya that time. The road to that place is terrible.
I can imagine.
And, we led by one old student, Mr. William Boche.
Okay.
We collected a lot of seedlings. So the big trees that you see in the school were planted by us in November 1988.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about what you do now. Where are you now? What do you do now?
I work with SIT.
Okay.
As a sales executive now.
Okay.
And that's what I've been doing for quite some few years now.
Okay. Okay. Have you been to the school recently?
Yes, I was there about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And 4 weeks ago when we did the launching of the 84th anniversary.
Okay. All right. Now, per your, visit and looking around and seeing the place, What are some of the thoughts you had in terms of infrastructure, in terms of maintenance, in terms of what can be done to sort of put things back into shape?
It's pathetic, my brother. I was a science student myself.
Okay.
So seeing the science lab when we were there about 3 weeks ago, it was horrible. And I can see how students can go there and do regular practice before their main exams.
Yeah.
So it became something crucial for all students to discuss it, to see how best we can help the head, the teachers, and also the government to see how best we can put our science lab in good shape.
Yeah.
Because some of our seniors doesn't agree why we are the grade B school.
Yeah.
So when we inquire from the headmaster, he said if you have a science lab like this, you can't be in a grade A. You can't be in a grade A. So we also brainstorm to see how best we can partner to make sure that we fix some of these things to bring our school to grade A status, so that those who are offering science in the school, we have the best of facilities to work with.
Now, so in terms of the Old Students Association, what's the general thinking? How quickly do you feel, or what's the plan on the ground? How quickly do you think you can put things together and bring the
in
science
fact,
lab?
the old students of Odorgonno, we've not done the best to help our school. And let me say that we are now putting ourselves together.
Okay.
Because we are now trying to put the year groups in order.
Okay.
Then to have the leadership, the national leadership under one umbrella, so that at least this message is passed on to them. So 3 weeks ago, after the launch, we started this campaign trying to reach other members on other platforms to let them know the need for us to come together. So between now up to January that we do the anniversary, we are trying to see how much we can come together with to help to fix some of these things.
Okay. All right. I mean, it sounds good. I think that the old students, there's a lot of burden on your shoulders because as it exists in many other jurisdictions, a lot of the sustenance of the schools comes from the old students, and so I think that it's something that we need to look at. And of course, you have people like the likes of Dr. Lawrence Tete, as you know, part of the old students, musicians who have done well for themselves, like Familia, Medical, and so on. They're all old students of Odorgonno. So I think that with politicians and all of that as well. So I think that, like you said, I mean, once the old students come together well, structure things properly, then you can do things like fundraising and all of that to support the school. Yeah. But thank you for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So we were speaking with Elvis Joe Annan. He is a sales executive with SIC Insurance and an old student of Odorgonno Secondary School. Fema, yeah. So, you know the thing about this old students thing, if it's structured well, it's a good and relatively easy way to raise funds without putting pressure on any particular person or any particular corner of the economy, as it were.
Yeah.
Do you see? Look at what people like the Odadias have done, you know, and they are honestly, I mean, sometimes I like to say, and Nayo knows that I say they blow their own too much. But truly,
and why not?
But truly,
but who should blow it?
They are probably the most organized.
Yeah.
You know, very, very structured and very organized.
See, David,
and they're able to raise funds and do real projects.
You see, there's this saying, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Yeah.
It is okay. It is okay for us to believe in that.
Yeah.
But yes, we will ask what our country is doing for us. We must, because like we always say, when you are teaching children, they tend to follow your actions more than what you tell them.
Yes, of course.
Okay, if you are able to put some level of pride in your people, if they are proud to say that I'm a past student of this,
yes,
or even while they are in school, if you give them some sense of pride to say that, yes, I attend St. Monica's, and there's that pride in that, they always want to associate themselves with the school, even after. Okay, but when they come in and we make it look like you came here to stay to study, concentrate on the studies and finish and get out of here. You know, they leave and there's no emotional attachment.
There's no emotional connection.
This is what some of the schools are doing, and that is why people are rolling over, dying to be part of the school. Because when you sit back and watch how things are done, it is admirable.
Absolutely,
we sit back
fantastic.
and you wish you attended Presec.
I'm telling you,
I mean, that is the reality.
I won't lie.
That is
when
the
I
reality.
think about it, I was like, I wish I was also
because the school also, you know, it has nothing to do with money. No. It is putting something in them, you know, that level of patriotism that the school belongs to you. Own it, love it, cherish it, everything there is to do.
And it's not so much you telling them to do, right? But inspiring them by what you are doing.
Exactly. So what are the teachers doing? What are the headmasters and the headmistresses, head teachers, what are they doing? Okay.
Do
they have some pride?
They wear the pride of being Odadi and so
you know, as a badge.
It's beautiful.
You understand?
To just see.
But you, the teacher,
you
are already tired before even coming to the school. You feel the children are disturbing you. You feel they are worrying you. They are even afraid to come to you for advice. They are afraid to come to you to lodge their complaints and raise concerns. You know, so already they feel like, let me hurry up and leave. Let me hurry up and leave. If they leave, nothing will bring them back. And really, how organized are some of these old students associations? Do we have any activities? Do we have anything that will bring us back to the school? No. So in as much as people would love that they were part of their old school, old students associations, where are the associations to start with? Are they even organized? Can they mobilize themselves to say? So you sit back and watch other old students do it, and all you can do is to wish your school was like that. So maybe we can also start turning things around.
I think so. I think so very much. I mean, Presec has built an alumni and mentoring center. Think about it. An alumni and mentoring center.
Now,
it's a place for the alumni.
Swesco is also doing.
And Swesco is also doing their own. It'll be easy. No, but you see, that's what we need to do. It's the only way forward. You know?
You see, so I always say, David, for the people who say that don't ask what your country has done for you, or think of what you can do. They will not ask because certain things they consider basic, like good roads, like access to health, like, I mean, security, all these things, you understand? So you are not looking at, no, my country should come and give me money or do something. That is when you tell the people that, oh, don't ask of what you're... But if I'm driving on these bad roads, if I go to school, I don't even have access to science lab.
I have to ask what my country.
And then you come and tell me that, oh, don't ask of what the country, your school did for, your country did for you. Ask of what you can do. No, what platform, you know, has the, or measures,
I've already
has
done
the
enough
country...
for my country.
Exactly.
I've paid my taxes. What did you
I have done so much by even driving on that bad road every day to work. That is what I'm doing for my country. By not leaving and making sure that I go to hospital and they tell me there's no bed, but I still live in this country. This is what I'm doing for the country. So the country, we cannot borrow other people's words and come and also let it apply to us. It won't apply to us. Okay, if we are children, education goes beyond just textbooks. Do they even have those textbooks?